Right then, how are we all? It's been a while, hasn't it? Since New Year, Happy New Year and all that bollocks. That's all gone now. Been away for a while. I didn't make a video post Fury Usyk 2, so just going to give you my quick thoughts on that. I know it's old news, so you're probably not interested, but there we go. It's been pretty quiet in the boxing world since then. So, anyway, first of all, other stuff on that card. Congratulations to Dave Allen on his win over Johnny Fisher, even though he didn't get the win by the decision. I think we all pretty obvious that he won. Giving Johnny Fisher a beating on the way. But Johnny Fisher got a lot of shit for that, a lot of criticism and that, but we can't question Johnny Fisher's bottle, can we? Or his chin, really, or his powers of recovery, because to hang in there like he did, showed a lot of balls and a lot of grit. So let's not be too hard on Johnny. I don't think Johnny's ever touted himself as anything that he's not, and I don't think anyone else has. So, yeah, fair play to Johnny. Took his beating like a man. And in a way, probably in a sense, a decent, kind of result for Dave Allen, because had Johnny Fisher won, he'd have moved on and Dave Allen wouldn't have got another one. But I can't see anything other than an immediate rematch with that one that we'll all love to watch, no doubt. I will anyway. And so Dave Allen will sort of double up his money or treble up his money, won't he, by getting an immediate rematch. So for Dave Allen, we all saw he won. And if he gets the immediate rematch, that'll be great for him. More money in the bag for Dave, won't it? So well done, Dave. And fair play to Johnny, outclassed. Dave old manned him into the second half of the fight, didn't he? And then took advantage of the novice. Really, that's what happened. So, yeah, bit of credit to Johnny for lasting and showing balls and good grit and good recovery for making it through to the end. And we all saw Dave won, so hopefully he'll get a rematch. Fury Usyk, a couple of things about that. For me, the weight was a mistake, a huge mistake. It was like when we heard the weight, we thought he was going to come in and really take advantage of his weight. And I thought maybe he would go into this and maybe turn it into a 6-round fight and just go all out to get Usyk out of there with the extra weight, extra power, extra bang for his buck, so to speak. But it was weird because he went in there a lot heavier, but didn't really take advantage of the weight. And the weight took advantage of him, really, because the weight looked like it was, he looked to be blowing because of the weight early on, and his output looked quite low because of the weight early on. And he didn't really box in a way that would suit coming in at that weight. In the second half of the fight, he was grabbing Usyk and leaning on and draining Usyk, but he only done that really in the second half, and he didn't do it all the time or as much as he could have, which was odd. And he didn't really come out there to me and look like his intent was to stop Usyk either. So to me, it was like, I think there were portions of this fight that he was better in, but it'd have been even better had he come in the weight with the weight that he was first time around. So if you took the weight of the first fight and the way he boxed in this fight in portions, you'd have had better, or he'd have had better success, I think, because he sort of only boxed in a way that was effective because of the weight for portions, which didn't kind of make sense. And it was obvious that he couldn't do that at a high output because of the weight and because of the limitations it put on his sort of cardiovascular sort of range, which was odd, weren't it? I was watching that with a couple of mates, and I thought, now, going on the climate at the time where it seemed that Turkey, the excellent Turkey, was very much pro-Fury. So you did sense, is this going to be a pro-Fury sort of judging result? So I thought there were 2 or 3 rounds in that fight around the middle that were kind of swing rounds, could have been given either way, depending on what you like. It's an old sort of, what's the word? Can't remember, but going back to the old judges and what you like and the subjectiveness of scoring, there were some certainly rounds in there that could have been given as swing rounds. Now, I thought, taking into account we seem to be in a pro-Fury kind of arena and almost on a pro-Fury production, a Turkey L-shaped production. I thought that that aligned with the fact that 2 or 3 or 4 of them rounds even could have been given as swing rounds, so it could have gone either way. I gave Fury, I remember at the time, this is going back quite a while, is it? But I remember at the time, I either gave Fury 10 and 11 or I give him 9 and 10. I can't remember which it was. And I've only seen the fight once, but this is at a time. And I remember thinking going into the 12th that remembering that it seemed like Turkey L-shape was pro Fury and taking into account that 2, 3, 4 of those rounds could have been given either way because they were tight and could have been swing rounds. I thought that if Fury had a big 12th, that we could possibly see a draw. As it was, Usyk for me won the 12th quite comfortably, and I had no complaints with the result overall. But they were just my feelings on the night, and my feelings on the night were I thought Usyk won. Objectively, the right man won. Usyk did win. On the night, I remember thinking, because of how I said, going back before, about how I thought, Turkey L-shape seemed very pro Fury, and there were rounds in there which could have been given either way. I thought the cards were wide, but that would be taking into account the fact that some of them could have been given swing rounds. So alternately, those rounds could have easily been given for Usyk, and those cards I have absolutely no problem with. Again, depending on how people look at those swing rounds. So overall, I didn't have a problem with the cards. I thought they were a little wide, but like I said, swing rounds considered, blah blah blah. Have no complaint with that with a result. Certainly not. The right man won clearly, and I have no complaint essentially with the cards because depending on how you interpret them, could have been quite easily that scorecard. One of the things for me that stuck out, I must admit, was immediately after the fight in the ring and stuff like that. Fury was marked up visibly. He was marked up around the face, superficially marked up, but he had the look of an old man. He suddenly looked, in my eyes, older than I've ever seen him before, just sort of in the face. And again, taking away the superficial markings around the face and stuff like that, to me, he just looked old. And to me, he looked, again, because of the weight, but he looked like he got old overnight. Older than he'd seen previously. We all know Fury was past his best, but I thought he looked even more past his best in that. The weight didn't help. I think it was more of a disadvantage. I think they got that spectacularly wrong. It didn't really seem like what the game plan was, when we kind of had our own ideas about the game plan, and we made those judgments on Fury's weight. But for half of the fight, he kind of boxed like he was trying to use the weight as an advantage, and in the other half of the fight, he didn't look like he was using the weight to his advantage, possibly because it had affected his engine so much he couldn't do so. But there were also elements of that fight where Fury would keep centre ring, but there were also elements where, because Fury is at heart, and always was from his early days, a kind of back foot, almost pure boxer, he very easily let himself be pushed back and slip into that guy that is happy on the back foot going backwards. And he did that too much and gave up centre ring too much. And again, so had he held centre ring a bit more and controlled that and wasn't the one on the outside doing the distance, it might have aided his tank. But I don't know, could debate it all day long. I just thought I hadn't talked about it since. But it's just that you are what you are, aren't you? When you've come up as kind of like a pure boxer, a back foot boxer, and that is your default setting almost, it's very easily, and it looked like Fury very easily slipped into that too often, so didn't use his advantages of his extra weight, and sort of he would be the one sort of controlling the centre and making Usyk do the work on the outside. At least 50% of the time, he was happy to go backwards and give that up. And then he suddenly realised, and then he would hold centre ring for a bit. But I don't really see where Fury goes from there, because he looked to me like he degenerated more or further than the first fight. And I think the first fight we all questioned and sort of said Fury wasn't the Fury of old in terms of just, the wear and tear and the miles and that sort of thing. And I think he's even less now. So where does Fury go? Don't know. In terms of Usyk, Danny Dubois, I'd like to see that again. No qualms with that fight again. And then there's Fury Joshua. I mean, do I care? Not really. Want to watch it? Yeah. Do I care if it happens or not? No, not really. I can't remember what else was on that card now. I just want to talk about Usyk Fury, really. And Dave Allen having that blessing in disguise of getting a loss, a wrongful loss. So hopefully it's immediate rematch, and that's a good thing for Dave Allen. Good thing for both, really. Good fight. That probably if they wouldn't have earned that rematch, would probably earn more money for both of them than either of them would have earned had Johnny Fisher just rolled over Dave Allen and carried on. So kind of a good thing for both, really, apart from Dave having another L on the record. But probably Dave's not that bothered. He's got enough L's on the record already. But he will certainly benefit, I think, from that being the unjust decision that it was, and hopefully they will get an immediate rematch. But yeah, Fury, odd one, wasn't it? Because at least in the first one, he came out with a game plan from the start, which he had a certain amount of success with, then ran out of steam, was forced to box at a pace that he couldn't sustain. Then after the huge round that Usyk had, it was kind of all downhill, all bar. He won a round or two after that. But this one was odd because he was neither here nor there, was he, for a lot of that fight? He was neither one thing or the other, even though the weight that he come in at dictated he would be one thing and would have one aim, but it didn't kind of work out that way. But you do have to question the preparation, and you do have to question. I'm sorry, for me, you do have to question his camp and what the plan was and what the aim was, because he didn't look to have the fitness levels carrying extra weight to do what we thought he was gonna do and what you thought the intended purpose of the weight was. So yeah, that was it. Anyway, quick video. Been away for a while. Just wanted to get a video out because I hadn't talked about that. So. Yeah, no, it's old news, but I haven't talked to you guys about it since it happened. So, anyway, that's it. I'll be back soon when there's some more stuff to talk about. So, anyway, I hope you all had a good Christmas. Hope you all a prosperous New Year, and I will see you all very soon.